Hey guys, we're back. I'm Robert Harlefield, your host for Rob's Rides. I know it's been a couple of days since I made a video. I'm sorry, the week's just been hectic. We hadn't have a whole lot of time to work on the car. But what we did do in the last 2 days is we did get the motor out of the S14. We got the harness out of the S14. I think we have everything that we need: radiator, intercooler piping, mass airflow stuff, all the stuff that I think we're going to need to use to put it in this car. But this is our new up-to-date 2013 FRS. Roughly has 7,000 miles on it, and the motor was pulled and sent back to Toyota. As you can see, we've already got our upper radiator support off, we've got our front bumper inner structure off, we've got the radiator out, we've got the AC condenser out, we've got the cooling fans out of it. And I have to say, the guys down at Toyota Greer done a fantastic job getting this motor out without hurting anything else. There's not a scratch anywhere in it. All the harnesses are still intact. There's not a single thing cut. There's not a single thing missing. Everything in the car still works beautifully like it should. And I will have to say, and I said this as soon as the FRS was built, as soon as I seen the first one, this car was designed to have a motor swap done on it. Once everything's out of the way, the engine bay is huge. The cross member is way to the back, so front sump anything works awesome in it. It's got a decently sized transmission tunnel. They probably could have done a little bit better job with that. But other than that, the car is fantastic. You don't even have to hook up power steering lines. The onboard stability control actually controls the power steering as long as it has a speed signal. So I'm going to have to work on getting this transmission to communicate with the stability control module. But other than that, I think we're in great shape. So there's no power steering lines to deal with. None of that messy crap. But I had a lot of questions since the last video come in, and 90% of them was about the engine. And everybody said, what's done to it, and what all have you got on it, and blah blah blah, and what kind of power does it make. So I kind of wanted to go ahead and get some of that squared away. It is an RB26 out of a GTR. I couldn't tell you what year model. 32, 33, 34. One of them, we don't know. That's something really hard to figure out. It's got 550cc RC injectors in it, single GT45R turbo. It's got a 42mm external wastegate, forward CP pistons, Carrillo rods, air motive fuel pressure regulator, air motive in-tank fuel pump that's going in this car, big front mount 3-inch piping for all the intercooler piping. It's got a HKS sequential blow-off valve, and an ARP everything, Cometic head gaskets, and on about 20 pounds of boost it makes roughly 500 wheel horsepower. Plenty to push this car. After everything's said and done, the car's not going to weigh but about 2,650 pounds. So that is a ton of power for this little car. It's going to be a lot of fun. This evening, we're going to be trying to get the motor set in the car. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures. I'm going to tell you all the stuff I had to modify to get it in here. The next video is probably going to be a little bit better edited. We're going to chop and cut some stuff. I got the owner of this car actually does a lot of that stuff, and he's volunteered to help me with some of these videos. So we're going to cut and insert some of the stuff that I really had to modify on the car to get it to work, which I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. But and when I get done with this, I'm probably going to have a set of motor mounts that I'll sell to put this motor in the car. I'd love to do a 2JZ car right after this and get everything hooked up and make it work too, and get a mount set for it, and maybe some wiring harness plug and play stuff done for everybody that wants to do it at home, but they just don't have the time or the know-how to do harness stuff, and you don't have the welder or the fabricating tools to make mounts or whatever else. I'm going to try to get some of that stuff made up for you. So keep in touch with us. Like I said, shoot me an email. hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have some t-shirts, maybe some bumper stickers or whatever made for Rob's Rides. And once again, if you have any questions, I don't even care if it's not related to this build. If you want to know, will this engine fit in my car, and can I do this, and what do I need to do with this, shoot me an email. It's robsrides@gmail.com. It is, robsrides166@gmail.com. That's ROBSRIDES166@gmail.com. Sorry, I just made the email last week and hadn't got it fresh in my memory yet. But shoot me an email about anything, and I'll try to answer it for you. But once again, stay tuned in. I think I'm going to give you guys some really good insight and information about how to update these cars and put some more horsepower in them. Fantastic little cars. That's just the only thing they're lacking is horsepower. And it's not very hard to change that. Toyota done a really good job, or Subaru I should say. Subaru done a really good job of designing this car to take different power plants. So once again, tune in, like the video for me, and hopefully next time we'll have some progress and I'll have some details to show you. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you in a few days.